and welcome to the Tammy Show. I'm so glad you could join us. Listen, we are in a location, and I am excited about it because we're at MUSC Health Orangeburg, and I am going to be interviewing the CEO, Mr. Walter N. Bennett, who's the CEO of MUSC Health Orangeburg. So I just want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy because it's coming up next. Join us for Just Sharing, building community through stories of our past, discussing the 70th anniversary of Briggs versus Elliott, Brown versus Board, April 18th, 6 p.m. at the Orangeburg County Conference Center, 1643 Russell Street. Speakers are Dr. Vernon Burton, Dr. Bobby Donaldson, Mr. Cecil Williams, and moderated by Ms. Tammy McContry. This event is free to all, and light refreshments will be served. Registration is required. Sponsored by the South Carolina Humanities, National Endowment for the Humanities, United We Stand, and the Cecil Williams South Carolina Civil Rights Museum. For more information, call 803-662-4644. The Cecil Williams South Carolina Civil Rights Museum is the Palmetto State's first and only museum. It honors a generation of people, black and white, throughout the state of South Carolina who deserve to be remembered for their unselfish commitments and sacrifices. Enjoy an immersive and entertaining virtual tour. For more information, visit www.cecilwilliams.com.
Hello everybody, it's Finkley of the Michael Finkley Show, and you're watching Gold right now. Why? You're watching The Tammy Show. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the show. I told you we're in the location here at MUSC Health Orangeburg, and I have the great pleasure and honor to be sitting with the CEO, Walter N. Bennett. Let me tell you a little bit about Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett is a devoted husband, a dedicated father to his two children, Nicholas and Natalie, his wonderful wife, Miss Dranika Bennett, and guess what? He is a graduate of USC Upstate and MUSC. Now, he's all about community engagement and healthcare excellence, and we're here to find out more about Mr. Walter Bennett. So without further ado, how are you doing, Mr. Bennett? And I'm not crying. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Well, thank you so much, Tammy, for having me on your show today.
It is wonderful having you here. Now, you know, one of the things that I always like to ask my guests is, if somebody were to say, who is Walter Bennett? Walter N. Bennett the third.
The third, yes.
What would you say?
I would say that someone would say that I'm a servant leader. I wouldn't ask anyone to do anything unless I would do it myself. So I believe in someone who's able to lead, but someone who's always willing to follow as well.
Yeah.
I always believe in ensuring that my team reaps the rewards of success because I feel like I'm succeeding if they're succeeding. So that's what I think that's what I say about me.
And you know, folks, I know you are wondering, what is so special about Walter N. Bennett? I found out something about you, that you are a triathlete. Tell us about that.
I wouldn't say that I'm so much of a triathlete. I have been doing something called Spartan races for the past 8-9 years, which is basically a obstacle course race where a lot of running, a lot of obstacles, a lot of jumping, pulling, lifting. I just feel like I have to find a way of staying active, and that's the way that I stay active by doing Spartan racing.
Wow. Well, talk about your philosophy in life. What's your philosophy in life?
So my philosophy in life, I actually was telling the group today, is to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. I feel like I want to be able to make an impact in the lives of people that I come in contact with, whether it's a patient, whether it's a care team member here in the hospital or a physician or the community. But I want to be put in those situations that I'm able to, again, make a difference in the lives of the people that I come in contact with.
And where did this come from? You are the CEO of MUSC Health Orangeburg. Your background is in biology. Why did you choose biology?
So, long story short, I was supposed to be a physician.
Okay, I got that. I heard, me too. I heard that.
I was on track to become a physician, but of course, things happen in life, and you just have to pivot and punt and try to go another direction. But I always knew I had a passion for healthcare, and I knew I wanted to stay in healthcare. So figured out what are all the talents that I had and passions that I have, and my leadership skills came out very strong on things. And then I found out about health administration. I was like, never heard about that type of field, and didn't realize that there were people who actually ran the hospitals. So did a little bit more research, and that's where I'm here today in that field.
And you know, when you think about being, and you and I talked off camera about this, when you think about being in a hospital, especially here in Orangeburg, what made you decide to really want to focus on Orangeburg? Because you come from Spartanburg. So what made you want to come to the big city of Orangeburg?
So I say I'm in between the burgs.
Yes.
Spartanburg and Orangeburg.
How about that?
Well, just to let you know, I am originally from Manning, South Carolina. So rural healthcare has always been a passion in my heart, because hometown living in Manning is very near and dear to me. Spartanburg, of course, has been my home for the past 17, 18 years, but I knew that when this opportunity in Orangeburg came, I was like, wow, it's in my backyard from my own hometown. And so I was like, okay, I want to get back to rural healthcare. I want to be able to make an impact in the lives of people that look like me on a regular basis. So that's why I am here in Orangeburg, and our mission is to keep our patients close to home. Because I always tell this story about my first day on the job here when I went through orientation, and a young lady said, "Do you know what they call TRMC?" And I said, "I have no clue." She said, "Turn right and make it to Columbia or Charleston."
What?
And I was like, "No,
Wow.
you cannot do that." However, I felt that challenge is on, because we are no longer going to turn right and make it to Columbia or Charleston. Our goal is, again, to keep our patients close to home, because we have great health care here in Orangeburg.
Right. So, you know, that leads me to the conception that everybody has, the myth about being, as you said, being here, turn right, make it to Charleston or Columbia. How are you going to dispel that myth, or what are some of the things that you're doing now to kind of dispel that myth?
So one of the things for me as CEO is gaining the trust of our community. So I've spent a lot of time in the community, from county council meetings, city council meetings. I've gone to all the different little towns in amongst Orangeburg and Calhoun and Bamberg counties. It's amazing. A lot of them have said, we've never seen the CEO of the hospital ever before at one of our meetings. And I was like, well, it's a new day in Orangeburg.
All right.
So that's my goal, is to build the trust of the community. So that's step one. Then I have to, of course, how do we change the perception within our walls of our hospital? So ensuring that our leaders and our care team members have the resources they need to do the best job that they can. And one of the things I always tell our care team members, that we will always make the first impression the best impression here. So patient experience is one of the main key things, ensuring that they are getting the best level of care by having a great care in the part of how we make them feel.
Right. And you know, you started back on June of 2023. You've been here since June. You're coming up, this is 10 months. What are some of the things that you have accomplished, or that you felt you have accomplished, that you wanted to do when somebody says your first 100 days? Well, we're talking about 10 months.
10 months.
What have you accomplished, and that you are now really proud of that's happened?
So I say that it's not a sprint, it is a marathon. So we have gone through a lot of different changes within our facility, from our rebranding, because we still had a whole bunch of signs that says TRMC. So now we're at MUSC from a branding standpoint. We've gone through a lot of integration with our healthcare system, because we're hospital number 16 in the healthcare system. So there's a lot of policies and procedures that we had to change. We went through an enormous electronic medical record integration. We went from a system called Cerner to Epic, and it was an epic of experience to move to that system. But we knew that that was one of the ways that how do we integrate into the healthcare system as a whole. We had to stabilize our healthcare system here by bringing a lot of services that we recently had contracted. We brought them in-house because that's how we ensure that everybody's aligned with what we're trying to do to ensure that we are offering the best services as possible. And then from an execution standpoint, we're bringing new providers in. And when we can't bring a new provider in, we're offering telehealth services to supplement those services that we never really had in the Orangeburg, Calhoun, and Bamberg communities. So we want to ensure that we're encompassing everything because MUSC offers great resources to a rural healthcare community hospital.
Wow. And when you talk with your employees, as you are walking around the hospital, what do you see that's different in them from now than it was 10 months ago? What's the difference?
I can't say that there's a true difference because they have pride in what they do. And we want to ensure that we continue that pride in the work that they do. It's just the fact that now our name has changed from TRMC to MUSC. We have more resources available to us from where we were before. And we have more, I want to say, autonomy, but also accountability for the work that we do here.
That's wonderful, because anytime you see a change, there's always going to be some disgruntled people, and that's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
But it's great that you're able to pinpoint the things that have happened in the 10 months that you've been here.
Exactly.
So I want to move fast forward. What is it that you want to see happen in the next 10 months?
That is a very good question. So we're all about measurables. Every business, because the hospital is a business, we have our key performance indicators that we want to hit. So we have our pillars from service, quality, people, finance, growth, and innovation that we have our measures. So my goal is I want to see all green on my scorecard.
All right.
We currently have a spotlight, kind of a stoplight system, so yellow, red, and green. Right now I have at least one red right now on my scorecard.
Okay.
I have a couple of yellows and I have some greens.
All right.
But my goal is I want to see all greens by the next 10 months.
In the
when it comes
next
to my
10 months.
scorecard.
Wow. Well, you know, you've done a yeoman's job by coming here, number one, and being a part of that transformation. And so congratulations to you.
And I want to say it's just not me, but I have a great leadership team because most of us are new to Orangeburg, but it's a team effort to ensure that we're doing great things here.
Yeah, wow, that's wonderful. Well, listen, will you sit with me for a little while
Sure
longer?
thing.
And we're going to come back. We're going to talk about Orangeburg Health Fair that's coming up and some other initiatives that you have coming up. I'd like to hear about those.
Sure thing.
Okay, we'll be right back, folks.
The Orangeburg County Conference Center supports downtown Orangeburg and our surrounding communities. The 6,000 plus square foot space is ideal for groups of up to 400 people attending corporate meetings, conventions, workshops, and special events. Conference Center staff are inspired to ensure that everyone can enjoy the modern amenities. State-of-the-art ballroom that accommodates up to 400 guests banquet style and 430 guests theater style. A warming kitchen with hot boxes, ice machine, refrigerator, freezer, and counter space. A lobby that accommodates 150 guests with special events outdoors. The comfortable outdoor amphitheater has a video wall and seating. Adjacent to the amphitheater is 12,000 plus square feet of green space that extends events outside, plus complimentary on-site event parking and additional parking across the street. Your event can take place all in one spectacular location. We welcome your special event in Orangeburg.
Greetings. This is Chief Fode Ajamume Saray of the Gullah Nation of North America, and you are now tuned in to the Tammy Show.
In Bamberg, right. I remember that. Spring into wellness. You know, you talking about, they say run to, what did you say? Run, TRMC means
Turn
right.
and make it to Columbia Trust.
Okay, I made it to Columbia. Spring into wellness. Community welfare. This was before you got here. I remember a tree fell on me, my car while I was driving. And my daughter came from Charlotte, and my sister came from Somerville. They said, well, no, we're not staying here. Let's go. We turned right. Yeah, the ambulance brought me here. Oh, it was a time. Because I think I called you too, Kathy, after I called. And I was like, I'm in. And so anyway, but yeah, I went to Columbia, to Lexington. Yeah, which I wanted to go home. I wanted to go home. But they said, no, we're going to Columbia because we're closer. Yeah. Yep, but and Kathy is oh man, my uncle, because he was hospitalized, and I called Kathy. We were in the emergency room, and he was in so much pain. And I called Kathy, and she called the head nurse, and they got him in. And he had prostate, and he was just in so much pain. And I just thank her so much because she looks out for them, and when they come, she makes sure that they're good. So, you know, it's good to have somebody that you know, but I think about people that didn't have anybody that they know that they can call. And that's what Kathy always says. She said, I want to make sure everybody knows that there's somebody here for them. That's what we're here for, to support the community. So you're doing a good job, Doc. So people call you doctor?
A lot of people call me doc for some reason. I was like, I do not have a doctorate at all.
Yeah. Are you planning on getting one?
I would love to.
You would?
I would love to.
Okay.
I actually know what program that I want to.
What program you want to pursue?
There's a doctorate in strategic leadership is what I
Okay. Because that's your passion. Okay. All right. All right. Mr. Bennett III. All right. You tell me when, Willie. We doing okay? Questions okay? All right. Okay, great. Welcome back to the show. I told you we're here at MUSC Health Orangeburg, and I'm talking with the CEO, Mr. Walter N. Bennett III. And I tell you what, we've had a great conversation. So if you missed that and you're joining us, I want to thank you for joining us right here on the Tammy Show. You know, Mr. Walter N. Bennett III, you're here. And as I said, you're the CEO, been here since June of 2023. Now you're getting ready for an inaugural event. That event is called Spring into Wellness, Community Health Fair. Listen, you've got to come out. If you're in Orangeburg, you've got to make sure. If you're in Orangeburg, Calhoun, Bamberg, come on by. Tell us about it.
So we are so excited about our event that's coming up this Saturday, April 13th, from 9 to 2. At the recreation complex right behind the Walmart or the VA clinic, Spring into Wellness, of course. One of the things that I saw when I first got here and had a time to spend with the different communities is that we need more education when it comes to our health, our wellness, literacy in health, because a lot of people are just going about their days, not really concerned about, oh, I don't have a primary care physician. I'm just going to go run to the emergency department because I'm sick. That's not the time that you use healthcare. So how can we combat that? Is to have this inaugural event called Spring into Wellness. We're bringing partners throughout the different counties from Orangeburg, Bamberg, and Calhoun counties. We have over 40 exhibitors right now throughout the counties because we want to ensure that we can touch on the lives of everyone from children on up to adults in the elderly. So we have screenings that particular day, from liver screenings to breast screenings, from our mammography units. We have, we're going to be doing blood pressure checks. We have our podiatrists that will be doing foot checks out there as well. But of course, we're going to have a lot of education materials out there. We have TED Talks. So TED Talks on about staying active. We have TED Talks on research. This is one of the things in the African American community about research. A lot of us are a little kind of You have to know
Tuskegee.
about research. But research is something that we really need to become a little bit more active on, because how do we are going to improve our health if we don't study our health more?
Exactly.
So that's why we're going to have a TED Talk on research. We're going to talk about heart health. We partner with the American Heart Association that's going to help us with the heart health questions. But we also have a group that's going to talk about advanced planning. Another thing that a lot of people really don't like to talk about advanced planning, because what do you do when you have a family member that's unable to share what they want their wishes to be? So that's where we're going to have a TED Talk around advanced planning as well.
Wow,
so
TED
a lot
Talks.
of things that are going to be going on that day.
And what will you be doing that day?
I'm going to be the biggest cheerleader out there to ensure that everything is going off like we need to. But I've been helping with the TED Talk process and ensuring that those processes are going to be running smoothly. But whatever my team needs me to do, I'm going to be out there doing it for them.
Talk about mental health in the community. How is MUSC Health Orangeburg addressing mental health in this community?
So mental health, again, is not a MUSC Health altogether thing. It's a MUSC, it's a South Carolina Mental Health Department. So we have to work in collaborative in regards to tackling that. We have to ensure that we're able to get the resources that we need. So we work very closely with the South Carolina Mental Health Department when it comes to mental health. We have a behavioral health unit here in our hospital today. We have and then we also have a grant that we're becoming an empath unit, where we're going to have an observation empath unit for not just adults, but also pediatric patients.
Wonderful.
COVID has really changed the game when it came to mental health. And so, especially with our kids, because they weren't in schools, they weren't interacting with other children. So again, we have to find a way, how do we target our adolescents, our children, when it comes to mental health, but also our adults. So that's how we're finding ways of how do we tackle that.
Wow,
and
that's
getting the information out.
That's great. That's great because, and I just thought of that as you were talking about the different things, and I know there will be those collaborative partners that will be out there as well to help with that. But as we're sitting here, and it's something that you said about research and in the African American community, tell us more about that TED Talk, because I'm interested in what you have to say and what you want people to gather. What is it that you want them to learn from those TED Talks that are going to be happening?
So in regards to the TED Talk, in particular research, the person who's actually going to give the talk is not even someone from the hospital. Wow. It's actually, we have a collaborative with Claflin University, and one of their main researchers is actually going to give that TED Talk. African American female, very bright in what she does. She's actually going to deliver on why that we need to focus on our own community. And actually, Claflin has one of the largest database on African American research in the nation right now.
That's right.
So, and it's here at Orangeburg. That's the amazing thing about it. But she's actually going to give that TED Talk in regards to the importance of research. And we're going to have South Carolina DNA, which is part of MUSC, to ensure that we're able to get more information and being a part of that collaborative on ensuring that they're being a part of the research initiatives that we're doing.
Oh my goodness. So listen, folks, you've got to come out to Spring into Wellness. The Spring into Wellness Community Health Fair. It's going to be great. Phenomenal. As we're sitting here talking about the health fair, why, and I know you addressed part of that, but when you think about the health fair, why was it so important for you to make sure that you did it now as opposed to later?
When it comes to health, you can't put your health off to later. That's why we have to address it now. I just think of, that could be my mother, my father, my sister, my brother. Why should I delay the education that they need? We really need to bring it now to their attention, and it has to be for a focus for them now. Some people say, "Oh, I'll start exercising later."
Yeah, later.
You're not promised tomorrow.
Okay,
so
come on.
You have to start today.
All right,
So
that's
that's why
right.
we're focusing on it now.
That's right. Wow. I tell you, I'm excited about what you're doing. I'm excited about what MUSC Health Orangeburg is doing because, as you said, we've got to dispel the myth
Yes, we
of
do.
what happened in the past. Now, you all see this new CEO and what he's doing now in the future and what's going to happen presently and in the future. And so I'm excited about that, and I want to thank you so much. I want to give you an opportunity to address the audience and tell them give them what you want them to glean from just our little talk that we've had tonight.
Well, one of the things that I want people to realize that your health is wealth. You need to ensure that you understand your body. You need to understand whether it's physical, whether it's mental, emotional. It all encapsulates your health. And you need to ensure that that is important to you. It's important to me because that's why I'm in healthcare. It is my passion. So we want to ensure that you are taking a hold of something that's true to you and ensuring that you're living a happier and healthier life. So that's one of the biggest things I want to share with folks.
So, future Dr. Bennett, what's next for you?
Next for me, hopefully, I won't say hopefully, prayerfully, that I would be going back to school.
Okay.
You said Dr. Bennett.
Bennett, I'm calling it. They said call it as it
you
is.
claim
That's
it,
right.
y'all. Write the vision, make it
That's
plain.
right. All right, come on.
Yeah, but I hope to prayerfully will be going back to school to get my doctorate in the very near future. I want to see MUSC Health Orangeburg making a huge impact in the Orangeburg, Bamberg, and Calhoun communities. I want to see that my team, our hospital as a whole, is shows the MUSC Orangeburg pride of things, that we love what we do, we love where we work, because we spend a lot of time here instead of with our own families. We are one industry that we never close.
That's right.
We're open 24/7. So we want to ensure that we're here for our care team members, but again, we are here for our patients and we're here for our community. And we're going to give again our first impression is going to be our best impression with our patients and our community.
Wow. So the last question, 3 words that describe, I'm going to say the future, Dr. Walter N. Bennett III.
3 words that describe the future. Oh, you're just giving me some great questions tonight.
Just having a conversation.
Yeah. I say our future is bright. We're going to do some awesome things
Okay.
on the horizon. It's going to be challenging because the fact that we have a lot of challenges that we need to overcome from the past. But again, the past has been a building block for us to see where we need to go. Third one.
As it relates to you. Think
As it
about
relates-
that third. Think about
as it
the
relates
third
to
one,
me.
As it relates to you.
Visionary.
Bright, challenging, and visionary.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can't get any better than that. Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much.
Thank
I
you.
really
I
appreciate
appreciate you, Dr. Walter N. Bennett III. Listen, you heard it right here on the Tammy Show. That's Spring into Wellness Community Health Fair. Happening again, Doc?
April 13th, this Saturday from 9 to 2 o'clock.
9 to 2. And that's the recreational
Complex behind the VA Clinic Walmart, so on North Street.
On
North Road.
North
Yes,
Road.
yes.
Okay, so folks, you heard it right here. You've got to be out there, and you're going to see it. April the 13th, 9
9 to
to
2.
2 p.m. Everything that you want is going to be there.
And it's
So-
all free.
That's the
All
main thing.
free.
Free. And bring the children.
Bring the children. Yeah.
They need to get screened too.
They need to get screened too.
Okay, all right. So we're going to do that. April the 13th. Listen, it's been a pleasure having you, sir. I want to thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
For being on the show. It's been great. And I wish you all the best that God has for you.
Thank you. I appreciate
many,
that.
many blessings to you and your family.
Thank you.
And to the MUSC Health Orangeburg. I do want to take this time just to say thank you to Kathy Booker, who's sitting over there, by the way. But nobody needs to know that. But anyway, I want to thank her as well for putting us together.
Thank you.
And being able to be here. So, folks, again, that Spring Into Wellness, the Spring Into Wellness Community Health Fair, April the 13th, 9 to 2 p.m. at the Recreational Complex behind the VA. On North Street. If you know anything about Orangeburg, you know where that is. And so we hope that we'll see you out there. TED Talks, screenings, everything that you need to better yourself. And so we want to see you out there. Again, thank you, Doc, for being on the show.
Thank you so
Hope
much.
you don't mind me calling you Doc. You're the future doctor.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Listen, folks, I just want to thank you again for tuning in to Tammy right here on the YouTube channel, and I want to thank my producers, Alicia, but of course, the one and only Willie is here. And Willie L. Daniels, we want to thank Willie for being here. And y'all know him as Lee. And Tiana, want to thank you as well. We've got a great show planned for you next week, so I just want you to be prepared for that, and I'm looking forward to it. As I always say, you can go to the YouTube channel. Remember, hit that red subscribe button, and it will notify you and let you know when the Tammy Show is coming on. Remember, let's be a blessing to somebody today and every day, because what? We are here, and God has provided us the blessing to be in the presence of Him and all that are around us. And so share that. Check on somebody today. That's what it's all about. Until the next time, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.